So, why did Krishna speak the Gita to Arjuna? See, the Gita was spoken, we can look at it from both a circumstantial perspective and a transcendental perspective. From a circumstantial perspective, the Kurukshetra war presented the greatest challenge to Arjuna, not to anyone else. Why? Because it was a fight against relatives, but there was no love lost between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So Bhima had to kill Duryodhan, Dushasan, and he would have done it joyfully. There was no pain in that after what they had done to Draupadi. So he was looking forward to that opportunity. But the most painful fights were going to be against Bhishma and Drona. And killing them was the responsibility of Arjuna. And this was the stuff of nightmares for him. See, basically what happens, there are different degrees of pain. The first degree of pain is adversity. Adversity means something bad happens to us. Second degree of pain is atrocity. Atrocity means something bad is done to us. Like say if our power supply suddenly goes off and we have an important meeting, or we have a big party at our home or big celebration at our home, power supply goes off. That's an adversity. But if we come to know our neighbor deliberately cut off our power supply, that is atrocity. So Bhishma Pitama talks about the difference in aho kashtam, aho anyaya. So kashta is adversity, anyaya is atrocity. In both of these, bad things are happening. But here, whereas adversity is natural, atrocity is intentional. Somebody is doing it. But the worst situation is agony. Agony means where we have to do something bad. We just don't have any option. Life has brought us to a place where we have to make a bad choice. That means whichever choice we make, somebody is going to be hurt. So that was the situation of Arjuna, that he had to fight and kill Bhishma and Drona. These were not just his elders. These were elders who were his teachers. He had learned archery from them. And we may have many teachers. These were not just his teachers, they were teachers or also his mentors. He had learned archery for their pleasure. And now he had to kill them with that same archery. Life could not have brought a worse nightmare before him. And he could have thought, maybe I should not fight at all. And that's what he was inclined towards. But he may not fight, but the Kauravas will keep fighting. And he will probably not be able to stop Bhima from fighting. And then that means if he is not there, the casualties on his side will be much more. That will cause him greater guilt. If somehow he gets the Pandavas, all the Pandavas to stop, and somehow they get the Kauravas also to stop, the fight may not happen between them, but the Kauravas will go after all those who have supported them. Because before the war, both sides were trying to form allies. And when the Kauravas torment and persecute all those who supported them, the protector in Arjuna will be miserable. So basically, Arjuna had no good choice. And Yudhishthir didn't have to kill anyone. See, Yudhishthir was going to be the king, and he had that crisis of conscience after the war when he faced the consequence of what had happened. He saw the gravity of the conscious consequence that had happened. It was crushing for him. So, but for Arjuna, he was called upon to do something which is extremely difficult. So, when I was giving this class, I was giving class to the Indian military, and then one old person, he came to me and he said that after India and Pakistan separated, just a few months before that, one of his cousins, he had been persecuted in Pakistan, and finally, because many things had happened, he had just converted to Islam. Because his daughter had been raped, and they had to go a lot of things. So he converted to Islam. And when separation happened, when India got separated, so then he came to India And his cousin stayed in Pakistan. He was a Muslim then. And then this was in the Kashmir area. And then there's a war that happened over Kashmir. And both of them were on opposite sides. They're cousins and they had to fight against each other. So he said, that is the most painful fight for me. They just related close to each other. So Arjuna had an extremely painful duty to do. And that's why in that painful situation, he turned to Krishna. What is the right thing to do, Krishna? He says, is this how life is? Why do I have to fight this war? So, pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. So, the Gita is a result of profound pain. And now that is from a circumstantial perspective. The transcendental perspective, it is more that, so he had the most painful task.